My name is Caley Fretz. I'm the technical editor at ValoNews, Velo magazine. Been around for 40 years in one capacity or another. One of the leading English language cycling publications. My job at Velo is to test and review bikes, stay on top of technical news. One of the big parts of my job is running Velo Lab. We've done 2 of these lube tests now, both of which are using Jason Smith at frictionfacts.com. He's a totally independent lab. We buy every single bottle of lube in the test. The whole goal is to find out the most efficient race day lube. And we scoured all over the place. I mean, he ran everything from olive oil to paraffin wax to all these traditional bike lubes. The paraffin wax has proven to be excellent in all the tests that we've done. And the #1 drip lube is Squirt. I was surprised how excited people were by this particular test, because we run a lot of big expensive tests on complete bikes, wind tunnel testing, stiffness testing, all that kind of stuff. And this one, it's lube. It doesn't sound all that sexy, but people absolutely loved it. It's close to free speed.
I'm Jason Smith, owner of Friction Facts. We're an independent testing facility located in Boulder, Colorado. What we do here at Friction Facts is we test bicycle component efficiency. This is our chain tester, and we use this piece of equipment to test the efficiency of chains, cogs, rings, chain lubricant, essentially the efficiency of any part of the drivetrain. This tester is unique. It's the only type of test equipment in the world that can test to an accuracy of plus or minus 1/50th of a watt. And that's very helpful, because when we test chain lubricants, we need that resolution to really separate the good from the bad performing chain lubricants. Recent ValoNews chain lubricant tests are actually quite interesting. Over the last 2 tests, we've tested over 55 different types of lubricants. What we typically do is we test at 250 watts steady state output at 95 RPM. 250 watts, 95 RPM is fairly representative of an upper elite level or mid-level pro sustained output. One of the questions that is often presented to us is, what if I'm riding at 400 watts? How does that affect my efficiency of the chain lubricant? Well, it's relatively linear. For instance, if a rider's putting out 250 watts and the chain lubricant and chain is consuming 10 watts of friction, you double that. If somebody's putting out 500 watts, then their friction is about 20 watts.
I'm Hunter Allen of Peaks Coaching Group. I also wrote the book, Training and Racing with a Power Meter. We coach athletes using power meters and principles that I've developed over the years. These are great principles that allow us to measure our performance in wattage. We have coaches all over the world. They coach everywhere from mountain bikers to road cyclists to riders in the Tour de France and in the Olympics. Our athletes are highly varied, from beginners, again, all the way up to the Olympic level. So the top pro athletes might only improve by 20 watts in an entire season, even less sometimes. And the Tour de France is probably won and lost by less than 10 watts. So a single watt is really important. When I use Squirt Lube, the great thing is I know that I'm really saving energy, right? Because that's the name of the game in cycling. Not just producing the most power, but you also want to have really good energy conservation. And if I can save a watt here, a watt there, maybe 4 watts or even 10 watts by using Squirt Lube, that's a big difference, and I'm going to take that advantage.